early AM, everyone. T-Speaker 222 XRP Future Millionaire with the side bet on XLM and Future Digibyte. Oh, gee. So it's 12:24 AM Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast in the United States of America. I just want to do a quick update on XRP because we're moving up just a tiny bit. We're starting to approach some interesting levels again. We held that 113 support as I thought we would. But I mean, that's the area we closed above, and it just seemed like a logical spot to hold. Not saying that it can't fall through, but I still think that we're playing up to that 123 area. And the top of the symmetrical triangle, like I've been saying, is up at about 126. So I mean, I think we could be playing for that area. We've got a little more volume coming in, even in the 15-minute. You can see it's a little bit more. So, and for everybody asking questions, this doesn't change the fact that once we get to the top, like I've been saying, and like I've been calling out all these steps, we're going to have a huge historical collapse. But guys, like I always say, I'm not going to focus on the collapse when we have a pump happening. There's no point. What do you want me to say? We're going to crash at the very top every single day? I know it's interesting, I know it sounds good, but we're going to crash when we crash, and it's going to happen. It's all lining up for it. Just let this play out and enjoy the profits while you can. There's nothing worse than watching this whole thing go and just worry about the crash and never get a profit. You know? So, like I didn't get it on XRP, but I'm up over 10% on XTC on Tezos. You know, so I've been getting it in different spots. You know, I'm waiting for my spots, hitting my triangles, or hitting the bottom support levels, and that's what I'm capitalizing on. XRP, I was very tempted to buy it at $1.07. You guys know that. I decided to go with Tezos at $7.21 because it was on the actual support line, and it looked like it had bigger return possibilities. So far, it's about dead even. There's not really any difference between what I would have picked. The only difference is, you know, Tezos was running opposite of how Bitcoin was, but you've seen everything was just different times, different parts of the close. So we're going to see what happens. But as of right now, XRP did exactly what we would want it to. It held, it rolled back down to $1.13 support. And this isn't done yet. Even if it's done, this is going to probably, in my opinion, it's either going to have to come up here. Because it did come to $1.21, but I don't think that's the end of it. I think it's coming up here. I think this is the retracement, and then it ultimately finishes up here. And then you might have something like this when it comes back down. But I think it's got to come up there to the resistance. I really do. I don't think it's going to end right here. Otherwise, it wouldn't have closed on the top side, and it wouldn't be riding this as support. So just remember, for a while, this was riding this as resistance, and it would come up, and then it would just come back down or come close. But overall, this was the resistance point. Now, we're on the top side of it, and we're not even coming through it anymore. We're just staying on top. So that leads me to believe we flipped it from resistance to support for this small time frame. And then it's going to look something like that when it comes back through. But we still have to get to the top, ladies and gentlemen. So we have our spooky ghost. And then XLM, exactly what we're still talking about from the other day in the 45. Is it going to come down and just make an ultimate M? Is this going to be an M? Or is it going to be like what we're thinking, that this is going to pull off and then end up coming up here possibly? That's my only question with XLM. We still have room in the symmetrical triangle to get up there. And my symmetrical triangle, as you know, there's two different ones. There's the YouTube symmetrical triangle, and then there's my, updated symmetrical triangle from the very beginning still. It's just, I believe, as I've been saying, and I'll continue to say, that XLM, instead of like YouTube is saying, you know, we started up there, resistance, support, and then it's waiting to come back up. I'm saying it didn't start here was the resistance support. I'm saying resistance actually started here. This was an overshot. That's where you start it, and then it got invalidated when it came down here and only came up here for the resistance. So you got resistance 1, support, support, consolidation, resistance, down, consolidation, likely resistance again, and then down to support probably right after that. But that's what I'm saying. I think mine is more logical than what other YouTubers have drawn. Just in my personal and humble opinion. Non-biased. Non-biased opinion, ladies and gentlemen. It's just what it looks like it's doing. So, that's XLM and DGB. Like we said, it was in a downtrend and it's following it. And until it breaks the uptrend, Like I said, I didn't think that was an uptrend. I thought that that was actually on a downtrend, and it followed it through, and that's what it's doing. It's using that resistance line perfectly, how we drew it out. So this is what we're looking at. I still think for DGB that it's going to come up, and it's going to surprise us, and it could come up here. But if not, it's just going to fall down to the bottom of the trend. Those are your two choices. So make sure to hit that like button and stay blessed, everybody.